Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 13th of August and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. First is the Clean Plant Program. This program was envisaged and announced by the government in the budget of 2023. But now the center has decided to implement it. This program aims to simply enhance the productivity of the horticulture products, that is fruits and vegetables, and to enhance the quality of the horticulture products as well by making them disease resistant or disease free. India is the second largest producer of vegetables and fruits in the world after China. The aim of this project is to become the largest producer, increasing productivity. Now, as the incomes are increasing in the country, the consumption patterns are also changing. So, to cater to the needs of these changing consumption patterns, which include more intake of fruits, vegetables, apart from cereals, this program will be instrumental. Next is China's performance in Olympics of 2024. Now, in the total medals tally, China stands second. But when we talk about the gold medals, it has equaled USA with 40 medals each with both the countries. 40 means 40 gold medals each with both the countries. Now, China has been participating in Olympics since 1984, and since then, China's performance has been exceptional. A lot of this can be credited to the focus on sports in China. Why that focus is there, how that focus is there, what are the shortcomings of the system, we will see in this topic. And the last is Target Olympic Podium Scheme. This is a scheme which is implemented by the government of India, rolled out in the year 2015, 14, 15, I guess. And basically, it is for selected athletes who are high performing athletes. This scheme actually, aims to enhance those enhance the performance of those athletes further. So have athletes benefited out of it? Yes, athletes like PV Sindhu, Sakshi Malik, Neeraj Chopra, or for that matter, Vinesh Fogart have definitely benefited out of it. So we'll see to this and then the MCQs, and we'll be discussing the answers to the MCQs of yesterday. Now, Clean Plant Program. This program was approved by the Union Cabinet on Friday, and this program is aimed at increasing the yield and productivity of horticulture crops in India. When was it announced? Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's interim budget speech in February 2023-24. This is basically 2024. The CPP is also targeted at enhancing the quality of fruit crops across the nation. Ministry of Agriculture has sought an allocation of 16765 crore for this program. One half of this will be sourced from the budget of the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture (MIDH), and half will come from the funding given by the Asian Development Bank. Asian Development Bank is a multilateral bank headquartered in Manila, Philippines. It gives loans for the developmental purposes. Components of CPP. This scheme has three main components. First is development of 9 clean plant centers, which will provide disease diagnostics and therapeutics, create mother plants to be sent to nurseries, and quarantine all domestic and imported planting materials intended for commercial propagation and distribution. So these nine, I would say, clean plant centers, these are first in Pune. This will be linked to the National Research Center for grapes. Grape cultivation and all is there. Wine making is also there in Pune, Nasik and all. In Bengaluru, CPC will cater to 4 crops: mango, guava, dragon fruit, and avocado. Now, dragon fruit and avocado are imported, and their imports have risen in the past. So we now need to grow them in the country. So this Bengaluru's CPC will find suitable conditions for their growth and how they can proliferate in our country. In Nagpur, a CPC for citrus fruits will be developed at the Central Citrus Research Institute, Nagpur. So Nagpur, citrus fruits. Bikaner, CPC for citrus fruits will be developed at Central Institute of Arid Horticulture, Bikaner. So in arid I would say, conditions how citrus fruits can be grown. In Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, a CPC for temperate fruits, apple, almond, walnut, berries, etc. Walnuts, apples, and all, they are grown in Kashmir a lot. Will be developed at the Central Institute of Temperate Horticulture in Srinagar. In Mukteshwar, this is in Uttarakhand, another CPC for temperate fruits will be developed at the CITH regional station in Mukteshwar. So one is, the center is, I would say, Center for Institute of Temperate Horticulture in Srinagar. Another CITH regional branch is in Mukteshwar, Uttarakhand. This is also a hilly area. Then in Solapur, Maharashtra, CPC for pomegranate will be linked to the National Research Center on Pomegranate, Solapur. In East India, a CPC for tropical and subtropical plants will be developed in collaboration with two ICARs, East India Horticulture Centers in West Bengal and Jharkhand. And last, in Lucknow, the Central Institute for Subtropical Horticulture will be developed for mango, guava, and lychee. So these are the 9 CPCs which will be developed under this scheme. UPSC can ask questions from here, and it can also go up to that extent that which CPC is responsible for which fruit. So that needs to be known. So first component is this. Second component, enhancement of infrastructure, including development of large scale nurseries to facilitate the efficient multiplication of clean planting material. Clean planting material means disease free planting material. Remember, the objective of this scheme is to enhance productivity, and productivity will be enhanced if we tackle diseases also. So that has also to be looked into. Creation of regulatory and certification process to ensure throughout accountability and traceability in production and sale of planting material. So this has also to be looked into. Standardization, certification and all. What is the need for CPP? So as I said before, that India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables, and the consumption patterns in India are increasing with the rise in income. Per capita income is now more than 2 lakh rupees. And it is a universal trend that as per capita income increases, consumption patterns get altered. You include more dairy in your diet, you include more poultry in your diet, and you include more fruits and vegetables in your diet. Cereals are there, cereals were there also, but earlier only cereals were there, like rice, wheat, and all. You were not eating these kind of fruits or vegetables, or I would say poultry or dairy. But now, since the incomes have increased, these kind of things also are consumed. And with the rising population and changing or altering consumption patterns, we need to increase the productivity. That is the simple logic behind what is the need for CPP. Currently, India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world after China. From 2013-14 to 2023-24, the area under horticulture crop has risen from 24 million hectares to 28.63 million hectares. Production has increased from 277.4 million metric tons to 352 million metric tons. India is also a major importer and exporter of fresh fruits in the financial year 2023-24. India exported fresh fruits worth $1.15 billion, while it exported this much and imported worth $2.73 billion. So import of fresh fruits was very high. This year there was a question also in UPSC prelims about import of apples from America, which has increased a lot in the recent past. With the rising consumption of fruits in the country, demand has specifically increased for planting materials of foreign apples and exotics such as avocado and blueberry. So these kind of, I would say, fruits are much in demand now, especially among the middle income groups and the high income groups. And more people are being added into middle income groups in India. They are demanding these kind of products. The eateries are also serving these kind of products, so they are much in demand. According to sources, between 2018-20, 18 to 2020, the Exim Committee for Import of Planting Material of Fruit Plants permitted the import of 21.44 lakh apple plants in 2018, which increased to 49.57 lakh in 2020. So in 2 years, from 21.44 lakh to 49.57 lakh. 2018, permission was given to import only 1,000 avocado plants, which increased to 26,500 in 2020. So in 2 years of time, see the demand of avocado. Similarly, permissions for the import of blueberry plants went up from 1.55 lakh in 2018 to 4.35 lakhs in 2020. So why not grow them over here? Why to always be dependent upon imports of these products? That is the thing which you need to understand. At present, the process of importing plants is very cumbersome as well, with imported plants having to be kept in quarantine for 2 years. Quarantine for 2 years. Why? Because we need to assess that they do not become invasive species. Wherever we plant them, they do not impact the nearby ecology detrimentally, negatively. That is why they are kept in quarantine. The CPCs will cut this period down to 6 months, because CPCs will be those hyper areas where a lot of species will be there, testing and all will be done beforehand proactively. So this thing is there. The CPCs will cut this and thus make it easier for farmers to access disease-free and genuine planting material for horticultural crops in India. So that is also going to be one of the, I would say, tasks of those CPCs, those 9 CPCs. Now, the second topic, that is China's performance in the Olympics. China, if you see this medal tally, is at second position with 91 medals in total. USA is far ahead of China with 126 medals in total. In total means gold, silver, bronze. But if you see China's performance in terms of gold, so you will see 40 gold medals each have been won by USA and China. And this is the first time USA is equaling, or China is equaling USA in the gold medals tally. So this needs to be studied. India unfortunately could not win even a single gold this year. Silver medal was the highest category of medals which was won by Neeraj Chopra in the javelin throw. Apart from it, you know, Manu Bhakar won 2 bronze medals. Then the hockey team won a bronze medal. Then we had a wrestler, a 21-year-old wrestler, who won a bronze medal. Vinesh Phogat's case is pending. So this is there. Now the history of Chinese in Olympics. For a long time, People's Republic of China, that is the communist China which we see, did not compete in Olympics as it opposed the International Olympic Committee's recognition to the Republic of China. Republic of China was Taiwan. Even the United Nations recognized Taiwan until 1972 as China, and PRC was not recognized as China. ROC, that is Taiwan, was capitalistic in nature. So United Nations recognized it because United Nations was dominated by capitalist set of countries. PRC was communist in nature. So it was not recognized as China. It was not able to compete also in Olympics thus. Most Western non-communist countries recognize Taiwan as the official representative of China in international arenas, including United Nations. In 1979, the same year, China established diplomatic ties with the US. Now, in the late 1960s, 1970s, PRC, that is the Communist China, started to have good camaraderie with USA. It allowed foreign investments also into PRC. So, obviously, a communist country coming towards a capitalist country in the Cold War era was, I would say, a very big thing. So slowly and gradually, China started, PRC means Communist China started to get recognized. In 1972, United Nations recognized PRC as China. After that, 1979, China established diplomatic ties with the US and ended its recognition of Taiwan. A pact was signed so that both China and Taiwan could compete at the games. So China competes by the name of PRC, Taiwan competes by the name of ROC in the Olympics. Both compete, but by different names. The PRC's first Summer Olympics was 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, where it won 32 medals and 15 of them were gold in its very first Olympics. Since then, China has been among the top performing countries at the Olympics. Its success has been the result of deliberate policies by the government over there. For the ruling Communist Party too, the event has been seen as key to its global perceptions. Now, how China developed world-class athletes. China began competing in the Olympics when its economy was undergoing a monumental shift. So 1979, it established diplomatic relations with USA. A year before that, 1978, it did some economic reforms like we did in 1991. And these reforms were done under the President Deng Xiaoping, its economy was open to the world. Before this, large section of the population struggled with poverty, particularly in non-coastal and rural areas. Now, there were sports schools in China, and these poor people in China, they found these sports schools very attractive. Why? Because their children could get meals to eat over there free of cost and other facilities as well. So at an early age, children were admitted to the schools over there, sports schools over there. So at an early age, children were encouraged to enroll in sports like gymnastics and table tennis at specialized training institutions. For parents from poorer and rural backgrounds, these centers were attractive options as they provided food and other necessities. But there was a flip side to it. While the rigorous training produced results and medals, the pressure on athletes to win for the country took its toll on many. Because all the athletes do not succeed, all the athletes cannot make it to the national team as well. What do? They struggled in their lives because in their prime years, when they had to, or they could study also, they were in the sports schools and their learnings are compromised. So they struggled in their lives after that. There were also cases of state sanctioned dopings. The small odds of success as a professional athlete meant that children who spent their youth engaged in sports rather than school often struggled to find alternative career opportunities later in life. So, this created a problem. And now, people don't, or people want to buy formal education first and then we'll send them to sports schools. But yes, along with formal education, there are exceptional facilities of sports schools over there. But in India, I don't think so. This is the true fact. There were memes all over the social media. With one sports period in a week, you expect lots and lots of medals. How can it be possible? And this kind of, or these kind of questions, they pop up during Olympics and then they subside. We'll have to develop this sports culture in the schools. Government definitely will have to take this initiative, take this lead. But in all this, government has formulated a scheme. The scheme is called as Target Olympic Podium Scheme. Olympic podium is basically that podium 1, 2, 3, where you get the gold, silver, and bronze medal. We have to make more and more athletes reach that podium. India's performance in this or these Olympics was, I would say, okay. But when I see the number of athletes who came at fourth position, missed out on the medal, they were too many. 7, 8, though I can count. Means there is potential. The most disheartening was Lakshay Sen, who missed out on a badminton medal. But yes, if focused upon and they start preparing for the 2028 Olympics right from now, things can be different. The mindset has to change. So this Target Olympic Podium Scheme. So why was this in news? Because the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Mr. Mansukh Lal Mandavia, in the Rajya Sabha said that the government is currently nurturing 1050 athletes selected under Target Olympic Podium Scheme, bearing all expenses from training to gears and for international participation. So all those expenses of the athletes are borne by the ministry. Under this, only those sportsmen having high performance get entry, not all. That is why only 1050 athletes currently are taking benefits under this scheme. Now, what is this scheme? It is a flagship program of Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, which is an attempt to provide assistance to India's top athletes. It was started in September 2014 and was revamped in April 2018 to establish a technical support team for managing the top athletes and providing holistic support. And that Mission Olympic Cell is there. It is a dedicated body created to assist the athletes who are selected under the top scheme. The MOC is under chairmanship of Director General Sports Authority of India. TOPS Elite Athletes Identification Committee is there, which identifies by which athletes are high performing athletes and they should be there in the list. It was constituted to identify the elite athletes who could achieve the Olympic podium. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports is responsible for appointment of TOPS members with emphasis on ensuring representation from high priority sports like archery, badminton, boxing, hockey, shooting and wrestling. These are the sports from where we have got medals in the past and we can get medals in the future as well. And largely, if you see, these are the sports through which we are getting medals now also. The total members of the committee are to be decided by MYAS, the selection committee. TOPS constitution does not stipulate minimum maximum members for the committee. And TOPS also does not entail this, that it will train or it will encompass these much athletes only. High performing athletes will be there. All their expenses will be met. So how is this scheme performing? Recent success of this scheme. Now, first success is Vinesh Phogat. She was sent to Belmenke, Bulgaria, in high altitude terrain under this program to train under this high altitude. And this happened in 2022. Maybe this was the result of her, I would say, exceptional performance in these Olympics. Whatever happened was unfortunate, but yes, let's keep the hopes alive because the case is there in Court of Arbitration for Sports, and that will take this that court will take its decision today, that is 13th of August. Athletes like Neeraj Chopra have also been benefited. Top sponsored athletes gained relative success at 2016 Rio Olympics and 2018 Commonwealth Games. PV Sindhu, Sakshi Malik, they captured silver and bronze in badminton and wrestling respectively in 2016 Rio Olympics. And 2016 was just only 2 years when this scheme was launched. So definitely it is impactful. In 2016 Paralympic Games, tops athletes won 2 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze. So Paralympics also it is covering, not only Olympics. The recent success of Commonwealth Games emphasized the efficacy of the scheme. Out of 70 athletes who won medals at the CWG, 47 were supported under the top scheme. So that is the potential of this scheme. If nurtured properly, if it is continued properly, it can lead to more successes in the future. Let's hope so. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Now the MCQs. First, what is the aim of Clean Plant Program? First is enhancing the horticulture crop productivity. Second is enhancing the horticulture crop quality by reducing diseases. So you have to answer only one, only two, both one and two, neither one nor two. Consider the following pairs and mark how many of them are correctly matched. CPC, Pune, Bikaner, Mukteshwar. Horticulture crop, Pune CPC is responsible for grapes, Bikaner for citrus fruits, Mukteshwar for lychee. How many of them are correctly matched? You have to answer this. Third, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. China, that is PRC, People's Republic of China, competed for the first time in 1980 Olympic Games. China has won equal number of medals, gold plus silver plus bronze, with USA in 2024 Olympics. How many of these statements are correct? Who was China's president when China opened up its economy? Mao Zedong, Xi Jinping, Deng Xiaoping, or none of the above? And the last question, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. TOPS is a scheme for enhancing the performance of some high performing athletes. Second, training, gears, and all other related expenses of the elites or the athletes are met under this scheme. Only one, only two, both one and two, or neither one nor two. Now the MCQs of yesterday, that is 12th of August. Arrange the cities of Japan from north to south. So we saw that map of Japan, and on that map of Japan, all the cities were there. So correct sequence is Tokyo, the northernmost, followed by Kyoto, followed by Hiroshima. So 1, 2, then Hiroshima will be there. Then after this, Nagasaki. So this is going to be the correct option. 1, 2, 4, 3. Which of the following can be a reason for a mega quake? First is subduction of tectonic plate. It can be the reason. Tsunami cannot be the reason. It can be an after effect of a mega quake. So A is the correct answer. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Earthquakes can be predicted. It is wrong. Earthquakes cannot be predicted. We clearly mentioned this. A megaquake is an earthquake with a magnitude of above 8 on Richter scale and has the potential of exceptional destructive power. This statement is correct. So only 2 is going to be the right answer. Fourth, consider the following and mark how many of the following can be the reasons for coral bleaching. Low tides definitely can be, because this will increase the amount of sunlight or exposure to sunlight. Global warming, yes, it is increasing the oceanic temperatures, and increased oceanic temperatures create stress for the corals, and stress, disturbs that, I would say, symbiotic relationship which the corals have with zooxanthellae. Marine pollution, including oil spills, this can also have stressful environments. which can lead to coral bleaching. So all of the above can be the reasons for bleaching. And last question, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Coral reefs are in symbiotic relationship with the oceans. They are in symbiotic relationship with the zooxanthellae or the algae, not the oceans. So this statement is wrong. Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system. This statement is correct. So only 2 is going to be the correct answer for this. Now, with this, we've come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. I'm not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai Hind.